Hey BookTube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I know, you're stunned. The woman who does not buy books went out and bought books. It was glorious. It was so great. So yeah, haul videos don't happen very often. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're gonna get to experience this. But yeah, even before COVID, 2020, I think almost exclusively read books that were in our home personal library. So we've already seen some changes in 2021. And in case you missed it, we did buy Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. After his death, we were talking about it and realized, like, we don't own this. And I actually love this cover. I think it's beautiful. This won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's a fantastic book. It's big. It's definitely worth your time. The other thing, so to get free shipping on that book, then we went ahead and bought Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, and I'll be reading this in the month of June, so I'm really looking forward to that. So what was it like, the bookstore? I have not been in a bookstore. Yeah. I was really thinking about it. I think we were in a Barnes & Noble in December of 2019. So it has been a very long time. And it was just, well, part of it was wonderful because we have an independent bookstore, which, most of the time I think independent bookstores really are great, provide great customer service, and this one just unfortunately did not. But at sometime at least, I think in the last year at some point, one of the employees actually bought the business, and it was great. I mean, there was so much inventory, and I'm not entirely sure why they had so much, if that was just to make sure that, the shelves stayed full, or, hoping people were gonna, as people get fully vaccinated, people were gonna be coming out. The employees were all wearing masks, and almost everyone in the store was, because it's really hard to social distance in a tiny little independent bookstore. But there was so much great stuff. And so Jason and I have decided with not all of our tax return, but a tiny little portion of our tax return, we get to just kind of spend on whatever we like. And I will let Jason share with you how he spent his money, but I wanted to share with you guys what I got. Now, I did okay as far as going out of my comfort zone. Two of these books are probably not going to be a real surprise. But the other two, I felt like, like I was venturing into uncharted territory. So it was exciting. It was exciting for me. And it was just, like I said, just being in a bookstore and seeing so many books that I've never actually seen in person. I have only seen them on your channels. So that was great. But so the first one, and again, it's James Baldwin again, If Beale Street Could Talk, and I have wanted this book for so long. This was actually going to be one of my 6 books that I bought in December online, not in a bookstore, but yeah, so I had 5 books that were recommendations from all of you, and then I was going to get this as a 6th one, and then for some reason I forgot, and then I remembered I also wanted Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, which is what I ended up buying. And then later I was like, crap, I didn't get this. But I have heard so many people sing this book's praises, and I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but I'm already like really excited to get into it. So that may be like, I'm slowly growing our James Baldwin collection there. So the second one is one that I have heard, again, so much on BookTube, and I've heard good and bad, but when I saw it in the store, I was like, that is for me. I am going to give this book a try, and that is The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow. And so, again, especially during Jane Austen July, I heard tons and tons of people talking about this book. I heard, like I said, I heard some positive things. I heard some negative things. So I just decided, why not? Like, I'll just give this a shot. Like, maybe I love it. It's got a blurb from Joe Baker on the cover, who wrote Longbourn. So that's a good sign right there. But anyway, so I will be reading this as part of my Jane Austen July TBR. So you will be seeing this book later this year. But anyway, I was very, very excited when I saw it. It was one of those just instant, like, just grabbing it off the shelf. Okay, so the other two, eventually I wandered out of fiction and, of course, the bookstore has a lot of Western kind of related material. They have some really cool sections where it's like all of one style, of a kind of book. And anyway, eventually though, I wandered over to the other side. I actually wandered into the part of the YA section, which was, it was a little disappointing. I mean, I didn't look at any of the YA books very closely, but it was just, I felt like both the new YA books and also the new kind of middle school or junior high kind of books, like, they all look the same. I don't know. It was just sort of weird. But anyway, so I kind of glanced their way, and then when I turned around, I was in science fiction and fantasy, and man, oh man, if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that Kelly does just not venture off that way very often. But I thought, like, this could be a great opportunity for me to, like, get outside my comfort zone and read something different. And so that's what the next two books are. So the first one is called How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I think, didn't he just publish a book, like, I want to say, like, the Midnight Library? I feel like I've seen some of you talking about him. But I had never heard of this book. This is about a 41-year-old man, but he's not really 41. Like, he has some, I don't know, something special about him. He was on the stage with Shakespeare and had drinks with Fitzgerald, and he's lived a much longer life than so anyway, but he's part of this thing called the Albatross Society, whatever. Their one rule is that you can't fall in love. And of course, like, he takes this history job because he's, like, the perfect person to teach history, right? And this French teacher is just instantly fascinated with him. And I loved this line on the back. It says, and now the one thing Tom's the main character. Now the one thing Tom can't have just happens to be the one thing that might save him. I was like, that sounds great. So anyway, I have no idea, like, I think we've talked before about, just reading things blindly. So I have no idea if this is any good or not, but it's got a beautiful cover and it sounds fun. The blurb on the cover is a great summer read from Kristen Hanna. So yeah, so maybe this summer this will be something I dive into. We'll see. We'll just see what happens with that. And then this is probably, like, the most, like, whoa, Kelly. We found, Jason and I were looking in this section, and we found the second and third books in the series. I don't know how long the series plans to go on, nor am I committing myself to read the whole series. That we found the hardcovers in this bookstore. The paperbacks are on the shelves, and then at the very top of the bookcase are all of the hardcovers. So we found the hardcovers first probably because Jason's so tall. So we were looking at them and we're just like, wow, like these covers are amazing. Like this looks fantastic. It's got illustrations, like holy cow. And then I looked down, and I don't know why it was so far down on the shelf, but anyway, I looked down and I was able to see the first one in paperback. So this is by Andrew Caldecott, and it's called Rotherweird, okay? And you can see on the cover, like, there's the river Rother, and yeah. Anyway, so here's the description. 1558, 12 children, gifted far beyond their years, are banished by their tutor queen to the town of Rotherweird. Some say they are the golden generation, some say the devil's spawn, but everyone knows they are something to be revered and feared. 4.5 centuries on, cast adrift from the rest of England by Elizabeth I and still bound by its ancient laws, Rotherweird's independence is subject to one disturbing condition. Nobody studies the town or its history. Then an outsider arrives, a man of unparalleled wealth and power, enough to buy the whole of Rotherweird, deeply buried secrets and all. So, yeah, I'm just like, cool. Like, let's give it a shot. And let me see if I can find any of the illustrations in here. I also got a, that's kind of a disturbing bookmark there. Yeah, so anyway, probably won't be holding on to that. Let's see. So there's one of the illustrations. Anyway, I just thought, like, yeah, it seems wild. I did open it up and see later. There's a list of characters. You know how well I do with, oh my God, like just, you know, tons and tons of characters. This is the very first illustration in the book, which I thought was cool. So anyway, if you guys have read any of these books, I know, of course, I know some of you have read If Beale Streak Talk, but, and I know some of you have read the other Bennett sister, but yeah, like, let me know what you think, and if I made a mistake, if it's a good purchase decision or not. So I'm just really, really excited, and I just can't say how great it is to go into an independent bookstore. It was great to go in to see all these books that I have been hearing you guys talk about or, you know, tell me about in the comment section. So that was a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And for those of you who don't know, I do have an Instagram account now. You can check that out down below. And if you're maybe one of my viewers that, oh goodness, like you don't make comments on YouTube, like I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know that you're out there, and so send me a message on Instagram, okay? BookTube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.